Okay, guys, I'm back here on Fishing Planet. I'm going to be attempting the one that I haven't played in before. I practiced in this, uh, I don't know, right around February or so when I first started doing comps. The name of the game is you're going to have to catch salmon basically in a lake that's just full of trout. And you guys that are familiar with this lake know what I'm talking about. So I'm sure going to get a lot of misses. Basically, you have to use crankbaits only. And then here's the rewards if anybody was curious. And again, on all these comps I put up, some other advice as well. If you're looking for a specific X Series lure or whatever in general that you're trying to go for, then obviously isolate the comp that you're trying to play in to get that one, and then practice in that one. You know, for example, if you're wanting to get the X Series 2 ounce 6.0, you could probably get it somewhere else, but just use that as an example. If you're looking for an X Series shad, then you need to practice for those comps, and then hope that you can get in top three eventually. So. Again, the information, you can use a boat, but you only can catch the fish from the shore. In other words, that's the only ones that will score. Use crankbait only, and it's going to be by total weight of your Atlantic salmon. Now, I do have marks for you guys on this as well, so we will go in and see how bad it's going to be. I heard this one can get really slow, and so we'll just see what happens. I'm going to probably be using two different crankbaits, maybe three different. Um, I wanted to kind of, there's the first mark that guys want to try. And then there's another mark off to the right. I've labeled these. And then one more over here, and this one's, no, that's something else. That's something else. There it is. So there's your three marks. Again, you can see I'm fine with the 2340. I'm going to start with that just in case you guys don't have an X Series crankbait, because you know how it goes. A lot of people are just going to run the X Series stuff. So trying to help you out. Again, I make no guarantees. I don't even know what to expect on the score. Another thing that I don't know if anybody does, can you catch two trophy salmon in one spot? This is not one of my most favorite lakes. So with that being said, I make no guarantees. And you guys that's watched the last few comps of mine, sometimes you can get dead laked. I would assume, I don't think we will here, but you never know. Also, one clarification I'd like to make. I was practicing with my friend Josh about 10 minutes before this started. I like the Empress reel. It's not the Express reel. So in my past videos, whether it's the Car Prod or the Salmon Monsters, I'll correct myself. It's one of those. I looked at that for however long I've been using that reel, and I would have sworn it was the Express. Guys, my apologies. It's actually the Empress. A lot of people like the Spod reel, which is fine, or the Kraken. You guys do you, and I'll just you guys can make adjustments from there again. But anyways, to clarify, I'm using the Empress 5000. Again, I don't know what the total scores on these things usually are. They very well could be um, getting two trophies from one spot. I don't even know. But if anything, at the end of this, you'll know kind of about where you need to be to place in the top three on average. So hopefully that'll at least help you there. One thing I noticed in practice, if you get probably about 100 foot away from this dock, you're probably going to get burbot or something. So in other words, I don't know how far you actually want to reel this thing in. For me, it seems like most of them I was getting from that 125 foot to that 160 foot range. Some things you guys want to pay attention to. So, not saying you're wasting your time completely, but what I've noticed, if I get up in this range right in here, I'm going to get something else, so I just reel it in. Again, if you guys love the spod reel, you're more than welcome to use your spod reel. But I just wanted to show you guys, like I said, I've been putting these up just to try to help you visualize what's going on. Feel free to fast forward to any of the action. Sometimes that will get slow. But usually in the end, I try to give just a basic breakdown of what I thought could be done differently or better or improved upon. This is a 45-minute event. Okay, now the go-to, that was like, I did catch one off the 23 foot just to kind of show you guys. You can use that. You can pick probably another generic. I would assume the slimy crank, the 16-foot 6.0 might even work. But a lot of the people, they're going to be using this one. The 12-foot 4.0 X series. I'm sure I can't remember what mission or lake you pick it up, but it is something that you can obtain without having to place in a comp. Again, as you can see, how quick the guys that's playing this, and the experience gap on these sort of things. Again, this is my first one, first time doing this one, so um, it's uncanny how experienced these guys are. If you notice, the two guys at the top are just shredding it. So this is what you get to expect when you come and play in these things. Just kind of pay attention to that scoreboard too, and then you'll know towards the end what you're going to need to duplicate or compete with. And then this other spot to the left, the bad thing about this one, I've got the salmon over here as well, but lake trout galore, of course. I wouldn't doubt if this is a lake trout. If we're lucky, it's a salmon, but I doubt it. Lake trout. Almost could have known that was coming. As you can see, I've caught one lousy salmon, and so my buddy Josh is getting up there. Funny thing is, we just practiced this for 10 minutes, and we both had the same exact run for the most part, within a pound or two. We practiced it for 10 minutes. And as I can see there, Josh, oh, I just got knocked out of fifth. He had 30 pounds, and he hadn't got the trophy yet, so he's liable to jump up there if he can get that trophy. And wow. I'm assuming this is the Uni Lake. Yep. And that's not what you want to do. Again, you guys are trying to pull out salmon in a lake that's pretty much full of trout. And you guys tuning in and out, we're trying the Big Red tournament here on Fishing Planet. The objective is to try to catch as many salmon as you can in 45 minutes using crankbaits only. And we're doing well on the trout, but they do not count. Salmon only. Anybody that's fished Moose Lake, that you know that the salmon only get to the trophy size. So again, I don't know if you can get 2 trophies off the same marker, but there's basically 3 good spots you can cast towards. I showed them in the first of the video, so once this posts up, you can get the marks there. Again, just trying to help you guys out, save you some time. You got 3 marks, you wanted to come in, try this for yourself. Again, on all these comps, look at the rewards first before you even join it or practice. In the event that even if you were to place top 3, if it's some reward that you don't really want, obviously target the ones that you do want. And my friend Josh had also said this one can be really slow as far as getting the points that you want. So I pretty much expected this to kind of go this way. Did we finally get a salmon? We finally got a salmon. Maybe. Nope, another trout. Imagine that. It looked like the size range of a salmon. The odd part is I played in the Roach Rider that I put up on my channel yesterday. First time ever, figured out a little way to score, and you guys, anybody that likes catching the roach there at Actuba, check that one out. I actually took top 10 in that, just pretty much learning right before I went in. And this one here, I knew it was going to be slow, but I actually expected to do at least to get a trophy or 2. It's still a little bit early, but who knows? And I don't know. A lot of these guys too, they're going to know respawn timers too. So let's say you catch 2 trophy salmon, then the odds are, if you catch those in the first 15 minutes, in other words, there's probably a respawn timer of 30 minutes or something like that too. And a lot of these comps, you guys are going to kind of have to learn those things. Again, like in the Stillhead Showdown, if you don't get the unique Stillhead in that first 10 or 12 minutes, then it's not going to respawn for your last, 10 or 12 minutes, so you can catch the uni twice. Otherwise, you're not going to score well. Same kind of thing in this. As you can see, X Series Inslip has got this thing figured out down to a T. He's sitting there with 94 pounds. And now we're going for the brook trout. Hey, at least it's a unique. Good times. Had 3 miss it. Okay, again, you guys can see I keep saying the same thing over and over, but look at the score of a guy that's probably played in this 100 times compared to a guy that's played in it once. So, any of you guys that are curious about joining this again, I hope this, even my failure, can be your victory later on. So, like I said, practice will make you better. But that guy probably knows exactly what marker to throw to, and a lot of these comps, that's where they're geared for the casual player, or they're not geared for the casual player. So, and you guys that are on my friends list thinking about joining this one, definitely practice more than I did. You can see too is if you get really slow like this and you have a really bad round, I could see some of these. I think that's what my friend Josh said. This is not one of his favorite ones for sure. Now, I guess if you're getting a steady bite and you're scoring well, it'd probably be a little more fun for you guys. So keep that in mind. A lot of these ones I post up there, I kind of just posted up for you because I did okay on that Roach Rider yesterday that I posted up for you guys, but that's not something I would normally probably sign up for. And again, looking at the rewards for that, there wasn't really much there. I think a jerkbait, 4.0 jerkbait X series. I'm even in top 34 with one salmon is beyond me. Let me see. Also, you guys can see the one I caught was actually on this Glow Crank 23-foot 4.0, so I'm going to go back to it and just see if, for whatever reason, the number one recommended crankbait's not working. It could just be my luck as well. Cross the lake and fish from the other side. Is it dead over here? That's what I'm wondering. Well, you know what's funny, Josh, is you see, I had 50 pounds in that practice early, and I don't know. I don't know. The game's been wacky lately too, so I was hoping to put up a little better content than this, but nonetheless, you guys can see how hectic this stuff can be. Yeah, I've done this before for the. Oh yeah, hold on. I might as well give you a mark for something else while I'm here. If you guys ever need to catch that, that's right there for your lakes checklist. Okay, so now I'm gonna throw there. don't think, we'll see what happens. My friend Josh here is trying to help me out and saying cast from over here, but we'll see if it makes a difference or not for at least a few casts. Let's see if it's a salmon. It very well may be. Yeah, I think we got salmon. We finally got another salmon, guys. Special thanks to Josh on that one. Oh yeah, you started over here. Okay. Yeah. Well, it was weird, and we just did that 10-minute warm up or whatever, the practice run, and I didn't even move off the dock, man. I don't get it. Food for fact, though, guys. Maybe you start right over here. Like I said, I had no trouble casting towards those markers any other time. And the Christmas event as well, when I was trying to pick up those antler salmon, I just kind of cast it out to that same mark. I will put an extra mark out here for you guys. Again, I've caught that trophy so many times when I've been here. It doesn't really, I get it, but I don't get it. As you can see, again, broken record time, but look at the scoreboard, boys. Look at that scoreboard. Not how miserable I'm doing. What you guys are going to have to do to place top 3 in this. 160 pounds is where this guy's at with 23 minutes to go. And he probably has respawns and everything else going for him. So, this is definitely not going to be an easy one for you guys, casual players, to place top 3 in. And we finally got our trophy. Okay, so I would assume you want to move. Again, I do not know if... my gut's telling me these things. You could probably get 2 or 3 in the first... If you get them in the first 15 minutes. And then probably... I don't know why I'm doing this either. I should have just... To save yourself time again. Would have made more sense to just do that. But again, going back to there's... I'm going to say there has to be probably a respawn timer on these trophies. So... the fun fact there, make sure that you have an idea of when you're, if you catch, let's say the first 5 minutes you catch 2 trophies, then they're going to respawn in that area again probably a half hour after you catch them is my guess. A lot of the lakes I've found that one nodule will pass off on doing tournaments and comps. Any of these longer 45-minute tournaments, again, make sure that you kind of pay attention if you're going for uni whatever or trophy whatever. Pay attention when you've caught something at the start so that you know you can recatch it later. And it does appear we're warming up. And you guys can see one thing you guys have learned from this. You don't have to have the X Series crankbait to get you a trophy. Now, since I've caught that trophy over there, well, let's try it. Why not? I would assume since whether you're casting from the bank or over here, it's probably not going to let you catch a trophy from both sides. Again, these are things that you guys need to figure out on practice on yourself, by yourself. So if you set this up with a buddy. Just go to Big Red in your custom templates like I told you guys, and just have a couple rounds at it if it's something you're wanting to target reward wise. One thing I might add too, if you notice in a lot of these top guys, I'm not picking on them, I'm just saying in general, you won't be able to see what they're catching unless you're in their lobby. So, in other words, but if you all happen to be in one of these guys' lobby ever that are at the top, kind of pay attention to like your trophy count and stuff. So if you see the same guy and he's got 3 trophies on the timestamp or whatever, then you're kind of going to know how many trophies you can actually get. So those things are, again, when I'm putting these up here, I'm just trying to help you guys out the best I can. I don't claim to know every lake, this and that. I'm just trying to train you in a different manner to where you can kind of just see visually what's happening instead of like somebody that would put a guide together. You come in and you still kind of feel out of place, but you can kind of see what's going on here. What I'm trying to do is see if you can actually get 2 trophies from one spot. You can see that I started out slow and it's starting to pick up for me now. But again, those things you guys are going to be kind of crucial to know. So if you can get 2 from one buoy, go to the next, get 3. But just to experience a gap again from a guy that's got 169, almost 170 pounds, to you, the guy that might have just fished for these for fun or did a Lakes Checklist or a Christmas event or something. The odds that you sat there and tried to count how many trophies you can get in a 45-minute time allotment is probably pretty slim. So keep that in mind when you guys go to enter these. See, like now, let's say that the X Series guy, he had end slip there. The odds are the first, we got about another 3 minutes out of the 45 minutes. So whatever he's caught in that first 30 minutes, I'm gonna almost assume his score is gonna get way up there. But we'll see. If here in about 5-6 minutes, if you see his score start going way up, then the trophies are respawning. And again, this left side on this mark I showed you, the salmon are out here, but there's so many trout. This may be a salmon, so it might be a keeper. There we go. As you can see, I'm not doing extremely horrible, but just as far as being on a pace for a guy that's going to get, again, that's kind of why I'm showing you guys this too, is, to get in that top, you don't get nothing really unless you're in the top 3. So you can see the pace, if anything, of what you're going to need to do. Yeah, see, I would assume that the end slip scores, he's just going to keep going up because anything that's going to, it's going to be respawning for him, I'm almost certain. And you guys tuning in, this is the first time I've did the Big Red competition. The goal is to catch as many Atlantic salmon here at Moose Lake, or White Moose Lake, and a 45-minute allotment. I don't know the respawn times on trophies or anything like that, but I did share 3 good marks. This also, I'm using a different lure. This is a lure that I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's a Baitcoin lure, but maybe. If not, it's something that you can obtain without having to do a mission or win a comp. So if you don't have the X Series lure or the X Series crankbait, this one will actually work for the trophy salmon. So food for thought. And let's assume I'd played this 3 or 4 times, came back into this, and I was even on a better pace. I'm still not on a pace. Let's say if I had that 100 pound range right now where I'd came in and I did decent, you're still 90 pounds behind the top guy. So again, one of these, if you're not comfortable entering it, definitely don't until you've practiced more. And worst case scenario, you lose, big deal. I'm noticing that as well. I think this spot in the middle, the marker I showed you, is probably the best, whether you're fishing off the bank over there like Josh recommended, or um, in other words, the spot on the right and the spot on the left, there's so much trout. I got a salmon. Need a lot more of those. And what I'll try to do the last 6-7 minutes, I'll grind that middle spot and just see if I would assume the trophies have to respawn. There's no way that they don't respawn. In other words, basically they're just catching trophies. They're going to respawn in the same point, come back X minutes later, and just recatch them again. That's kind of like the bass tournament in general, how it works as well. Just all going off of spot rotation and timing on respawns. Oh, I had a hit. Also, in general, I know one thing just from fishing this like enough. The closer you get to here, you'll get brook trout. The closer you get in here, so that's a lot of times the salmon I notice I catch out there a long way. So that's why I reel it in prematurely. Yeah, again, look at the scoreboard, guys. You can see that, I mean, I don't know how many he's caught, but basically he's caught the equivalent of 10 trophies that were almost 22 pounds. And obviously he's pulling in some small ones along the way, but you can kind of see what you're going to have to average to keep up with these guys. Again, looking at you can see I haven't sit and picked up very many burbot. The guy down there that's picking up the burbot, it's because they're going to bite close range. Again, I'm not overly concerned with my score at this point. I'm not having a good run, so you know, your burbot are so close that you know you're just rolling through the burbot, guys. That's why I'm. Well, there was one trout there. That was a salmon trout, but again, I think this is the hottest spot. So again, a lot of this you can just look back through, get the marks, get you guys a better game plan together. Again, this learn the respawn time and how many trophies you can get. And I think there's probably a couple of you on my friends list that might be all right at this one. Again, my friend Josh is really good with the lure and stuff too, and he really doesn't like this one. So again, if this comp is not for you guys, then if anything, me going through and experimenting it kind of saves you the grief. If there's a comp on here that I've posted, same kind of a thing. If you're not interested in it, then there you go. At least I've went through some of the misery. This is probably one that I would practice at and try to get a little better. But even in looking at the rewards, I don't think there's anything in there that. Let me look at that real quick. What's up, D? Oh, trying this Big Red tournament for the first time, bro. It's a tough one because all you can use is crankbaits. But again, a lot of these, I'm posting all these up just kind of help you guys out. This is probably not one that I would even, again, you guys just now getting into the comps. Always look at your rewards first before you even go in. A lot of that stuff there, the 16-foot crankbait even, you can pick up just doing missions on here. So they're not really giving anything fantastic away as it is. And again, if they should make this top 10 because even for the casual player that wants to have fun or is just entering these comps, you'll notice just by the scoreboard alone, and I'm a decent fisherman. Obviously, I need to do a lot of work on this comp to come in place. But how's a guy going to get 200 and even 165 pounds right now? Kind of seems out of reach. So you guys, you're going to have to learn on all these comps. If respawn timers, it's not just your lure selection and spot rotation. It's knowing when you caught what and when you need to come back to it after it respawns. So if anything, when I'm me posting these things up, that should help you guys. Again, set up your guys' templates. In other words, just come here to Moose Lake, set up a template for you and your friend on Big Red Fish, and it'll give you right in the ballpark. Now, the peaks will change here and there. In other words, for the template, it won't let you change the weather. Basically, it'll just throw one of the random 2 or 3 that they have set up for it. So in other words, the next time you come back for this, in the next rotation, it won't be this same exact peak. Same thing in your custom templates that you guys set up to come in and practice these. Hey Tyler, what's up, man? And as you can see, we haven't did horrible and we definitely haven't did great, but a lot of people too. Let me rotate back to it. If you guys look at my keep net, a lot of people will tell you to use the all my salmon. I think I've caught off of the just a 23-foot 4.0 crankbait. So, but the number one thing, one of my buddies had told me, and I think he's right. My friend Josh that I practice with, he's saying that most of the people are using this crankbait. If you do have it, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on. This one here is what he's saying, the 12-foot 4.0 X series. And I know I can't remember. I've completed all my missions, so bear with me. I can't remember what lure I got where for what. It might even be a 30-day stay. But this is the one that everybody's bragging on for these trophy salmon and the salmon here at Moose Lake for this comp. So if you do have this, I just tried to put up one that some of the viewers might come in, and they, not everybody's got X Series gear, so I was trying to use one that would work, and the glow crank does work. Again, if you got a crankbait that you like that you'd want to try out, obviously that's why you set those things up in the custom templates with you and your friends. But 200, okay, thanks, Josh. See, Josh remembers all this stuff. 250s, you have to catch 200. That's the predator carp. Oh, that's the one. Was that is the predator carp considered? I remember I got confused when I was doing that. Is that for the eyed? I want to say. Does eyed and ass both count, or was it? I can't remember. I got confused on that one as well because I had to look up my score. I went in and went through my challenges, and I was having trouble. Also, guys, I'm gonna grind the last 6 minutes here because I just want to see if the trophy respawns. You guys gotta know your trophy count too. If there's 2 trophy in this, yep, okay, it is the eyed, guys. So we're as we wind this thing down in closing, I'll show my marks again so you guys have them if you want to save them and pause at some point. But again, the rewards for me in this one I thought didn't really pique my curiosity. But if it's something you want to do, again, Fishing Planet kind of needs to add another lake or something. But again, I'm just kind of going around these comps and just kind of doing them for fun for the most part. But at least with this one, you are catching fish. I'd hope that with a little practice, I could probably get in the 140s, I think. But for me in particular right now, unless I sit and, not everybody's got time, and I'm not going to devote 3 hours a day when I do get time to play. I'm not going to devote it to just practicing for this comp. So again, keep those things in mind. But I think there's some of these comps in here that if you guys practiced enough, you can definitely go in and get whatever X Series thing that you could. But this one in particular, this guy's got so much experience. Again, my hat's off to him. But 220 pounds and 45 minutes in a lake full of trout. He knows how to isolate, rotate. He knows respawn timers and all that stuff. So, and I probably will be streaming I think around 3 o'clock or so. There's a Taiman comp. It's just a one big and one small, kind of a lunky comp, so to speak. Now, if you can catch more than one unique Taiman, and I want to say that thing's 45 minutes, maybe another 45-minute thing. Now you could go through and basically the goal of that one again is just going to be another gap tournament. The difference between a big and a small Taiman, and that's how the top 3 are determined. So again, as we can conclude this, I'm going to go ahead and share you guys the markers. Anybody that was curious real quick. This one is normally the hot spot. Now you can get this from either side. My friend Josh was saying fish it over here, and I did come over and catch some there. So there's another mark if you need that. And then way out here, so you got one to the right. I've labeled it as well. And then over here, I will tell you on this spot over here that there's so many trout obviously right here that you're going to pick up. So, but those are the 3 marks to help you guys if you guys considering entering Big Red competition here at Moose Lake on Fishing Planet. At some point, I'm sure those 3 marks will save you a lot of work, but that's basically the spots I know the majority of these people are probably going to be rotating to. And it's also possible, I think that guy, X Series, his comp's probably over at this point, so his 220 is going to stick. But there's just, as the bottom third, you're looking at, you're going to need around that 190-pound range to place in top 3 to make it worth your time anyway, as far as getting any X Series gear. And I would assume that's why most people, even the casual player, is going to want to go and put themselves through the torture of entering these comps at times. Everybody's going through the X Series gear, so just, you're looking at a really big score, basically double of what I've done. I was hoping to get one more trophy just to see. Like I said, you guys, you're going to have to learn the count. Just again with that 200 and just with 220 pounds, that's a lot of fish. So you know he's got to have at least 6 trophies in there. And if I only got one, my gut's telling me there's probably 2 trophies per spot or something like that would be my guess. So I would kind of benchmark off of that. So if you go in here and set up your custom template in that 45-minute range, just make sure that you can get, you know, if you can't get 5 trophies, you know, 5 trophies, even if it's only 18 pounds, that's 90 pounds. You've pretty much got my score just in the trophy count. So that's what my assumption is, that they're at least getting 5 to 6 trophy range. Granted, looks like he's got the biggest, not only got the best score, but he also got a really big trophy there at 21.9 pounds. So again, anybody that might watch, see now he's up there again. So he just got another 13 pounder. So look, his trophy did respawn. If you guys caught that, he was at 220, now he went to 233. So I'm 95% sure there's going to be a respawn on your trophies. So again, you guys, in closing, I hope you guys like the content. I know it can get slow at times. Again, this is not something that I practiced a bunch for, so it was a 10-minute practice. But I got you guys some marks anyway. I did have the better luck, you know, and I didn't throw this X Series crank a lot, but I did have fine luck with the 2340. So you guys make your own adjustments. I will probably be live streaming. I'll take a look at it here in a second. I probably will be live streaming the Taiman event as well. I think we caught 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. So basically a 10-pound average for 10 salmon. That's, you know, he's basically got 23 pound. Do the simple math on it if he had the same amount of salmon, which he probably caught more, but you know, you're going to have to average a lot better than that. We did. I'm not going to say we did horrible, but I would say you're going to have at least 5, 6 trophies to even have a chance in that. We'll be probably playing in this one here in about an hour. I'm going to take a quick break. We will play in this one. I'll stream this as well. I'm a little better in this one, but again, I don't make any guarantees when I go into these live streams, but I want to try to make sure and put up at least one from every comp. Even if I do horrible, at least you guys got a basic idea. And then again, just see if you guys like the rewards, see if it's worth going for it, if it's worth practicing for. If it's not worth practicing for it, I'll go ahead and pull this up a little early. Now the X Series mouse. Okay, now look, that'd be a great one to have. See, I've always wanted that. I did pick up the X Series bass worm in the bass tournament. I got 7th in the semifinal. I did get me finally an X Series lure in the bass worm, but that X Series shad I've always wanted, because there's so many things you can pair it with, you know, buzz bait, spinners, you can put on a jig head. I would love to have that X Series shad. So I will be applying for this. Don't mean I'll get it, but again, that's a good, both of those top 2 right there, the mouse or the shad would be amazing to have. So I'm going to keep probably trying in this event every time it's on. I'm only probably going to go live stream it the one time, unless I win it later, and I'll just put up a video. But just so it's not overloaded with the same thing, I'm just going to put kind of basically one template for you guys up. So anyway, you guys take care. Thanks for tuning in. And anybody that wants to tune in later, I'm going to play in that and see how I do.